things grow.
In Ontario,
Good things grow in Ontario.
1 out of 5 Ontario people makes a living from the food business. Shop where you see the Foodland symbol. Keep Ontario strong.
good things grow.
In Ontario. Good things grow in Ontario.
Yeah, but does everyone know that? This is a project on local food and grocery buying behavior. Hi guys, my name is Olivia, and I just wanted to share a little bit of a story with you. The other day, I was on Netflix, casually, and I came across this documentary called Vegucated, and it showed images of where food comes from and how it's produced and what goes into it. And I found this topic to be very interesting. So for this project, our group decided to focus on what local food is, what are consumer trends on local food, and if other people are out there know about this. So we decided to go through 3 things. So we wanted to do our own research on what local food is. We wanted to ask some experts, get their advice on, and gain some knowledge from what they know. And then we wanted to go out on the streets and find out if the average everyday person buying groceries knows about local food as well. So we're going to go ahead and begin with what we found for our research. The Canadian Food Inspection Agency recognizes local food as food that is produced in the province or territory in which it is sold, or food sold within 50 kilometers of its originating province or territory. Local foods in Ontario vary depending on the season. However, some foods that are available year-round in Ontario include apples, potatoes, sprouts, lettuce, mushrooms, cucumbers, and sweet potatoes. Locally grown products can be bought in farmers markets and community gardens, but these days, in response to recent consumer trends, restaurants and retailers now carry products that support local farmers as well. So why buy local? The consumption trend of buying local is now stronger than ever and is projected to increase. A study by the Business Development Bank of Canada showed that 45% of consumers made an effort to buy local products in 2014. Consumers buy local products for 3 main reasons: personal health, environmental health, and economic support of their local community. When local foods are grown sustainably, without pesticides and chemical fertilizers, the food is healthier. The less distance a food travels, the more nutrients it retains. Not to mention, it tastes better. Eating locally grown food helps fight global warming. Buying locally produced food eliminates the need for fuel-guzzling transportation and creates fewer greenhouse gas emissions than conventionally produced products. Buying local is better for everyone's bottom line. Shopping for local food gives consumers the satisfaction of knowing they're contributing to their local community. A study from Brock University suggests $3 billion would be added to the local economy if 5 million Ontarians spent only $10 of their grocery budget on local foods each week. But does everyone know this? So now that we had some research done and we knew a lot about local food, it was time to interview some experts. So we went out and we interviewed members of the community who own organizations that support local food.
My name is Ron. I'm one of the founders of the Green Door restaurant.
So my name is Etienne. I've been involved in the G-Spot since September of last year.
I'm Glenn Needham, Needham's Market Garden from Arnprior.
I've done it for a long time because I realized that when one spends money on goods that are produced locally, you're keeping the money in the community.
You're reducing the CO2 emissions, you're reducing your carbon footprint. So those are probably the prime motives.
I think it's a movement that's a long time coming.
It's kind of a dilemma because on one hand, it is a bit more expensive.
The one thing we do have in common is that we're working the angle of local is better.
Yeah, you're buying from your neighbor, it makes it just a friendlier thing to do. The experience is a different experience rather than pushing a cart down an aisle in a Walmart or somewhere.
all my life.
Oh, I don't know, a long time ago.
I did my last year of high school in France, and I lived on a small vineyard, and I remember it was the most local you can ever be. The high school provided food for all the students, and all the food had to come within a radius of like 50 kilometers of the town. And then it's really when I came back, and then I walked in. I remember I walked in like a Costco or something. And there's these industrial amounts of food that come from like Mexico, and just like there was a disconnect that I felt, and I guess I acted upon that urge. Yeah.
If local agriculture was not supported and was not promoted, and if people gave up, well, what would you have in the countryside around Ottawa? You may as well just pave it over.
It's not stuck in a warehouse, it's not on a truck longer than it should be. It's in the best interest of everyone. Absolutely, yeah. There's just no negatives to it.
A lot of people do it, not a lot. I think the percentage is probably quite small.
And it's a trend that most people should adopt if they can afford it.
It's because the Chinese are making a lot of goods that are very inexpensive, and that's what people want to buy. And what does Walmart sell but Chinese goods?
We can be growing tomatoes in our backyards in Ottawa, and then we ship those tomatoes to a processing plant in Manitoba, for example, and those tomatoes come back to Ottawa. There's a lot of built-in inefficiencies like that in our system that we don't really take into account.
We're just brought up with knowing that there'll always be tomatoes available year-round. Only 4 months of that season they're local.
It's hard to decentralize almost the food distribution system, so.
It's a way of thinking.
Engaging people in discussions around food issues.
Word of mouth, I think, is the best bet.
One can take the time to investigate and then make that choice.
Anybody that's interested in supporting local farmers.
It's a wide range, actually, of the population, mostly female. Probably women are more health conscious.
Once they realize how much better it actually is tasting and freshness, then they're oftentimes they'll be farmers market customers for life.
So it's pretty clear that the experts are very knowledgeable on what local food is. But is the average person? Our team set out to go outside of big box stores such as Walmart and Basic Foods and local smaller stores such as Urban Spice and DeCastro's to interview shoppers. So we predicted that the people outside of the big box stores would be less aware and less appreciative of local food, and the people outside of the smaller stores would be more aware of local food and more appreciative of it and be willing to pay more of a premium for it.
What distance? Oh, 10 kilometers?
The province.
Oh, I don't know.
Probably
Less than 100 kilometers?
100 kilometers.
Yeah, if it was affordable, for sure. Yeah. Yes.
If it was advertised, and it would be interesting to support it, yeah.
Depends.
I often try to buy mostly local products.
Meat, yes. Bread, yes. But probably not vegetables. Not generally, no.
Not really, no. Not really.
Yeah, maybe sometime.
Most of the time. In general, not too much, no. Not a huge emphasis on that.
Kilometers, maybe 10 kilometers.
50 kilometers.
Anywhere inside Ontario is local.
I try to. In the summers with local markets, I like to. If the option is there as much as possible, I try and buy locally produced material.
Usually.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like where they're like imported from? Yep.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Yes, I do.
So it turns out our hypothesis was wrong. Consumers outside of the big box stores and outside of the small local stores, they both appreciate local food and they both are willing to support it. So we decided to pose a new question. What influences consumers when they're buying their groceries? And why would or wouldn't a consumer be motivated to purchase local food?
Better quality most of the time. Well, I feel better because you support your community and you support the farmers around here.
Well, it's fresher, it's better for you usually.
I just think it's great to buy local because it supports our farmers.
Usually price.
Price? Mostly price.
The sales. Cost is a major factor.
Sometimes you have to weigh out supporting the community with your finances, right?
It's we have a lot of products that are imported from other countries, and yes, there are many processes.
I think that if things travel a long distance, then you start making a lot more compromises.
I think that in like the grocery store, it's not very like advertised as like a cool or just like an important thing in our society. So for me, I enjoy doing it, but it's hard to like figure it out or see.
Quality.
The quality of the product. Its location, probably its price as well.
Quality and source of the product, and price isn't really that relevant.
I will pay extra for something local.
So we found it pretty interesting what consumers had to say about local food. We found it very eye-opening to find out how educated they were about where their food is coming from. So to recap our journey, let's go over what me and my team learned. We learned that a local product is grown within 50 kilometers of where it's sold. Consumers today prefer to buy local because of its health benefits, environmental impact, and economic support of local communities. As our experts like Ron and Etienne said, everyone will benefit if we all choose to buy local, and businesses like theirs encourage this trend. On the street, we found that everyone, despite their shopping behaviors, were aware of local products and would try buying local if they were not limited by the barriers of convenience and price. Thanks for listening. We definitely learned a lot throughout this whole journey, and because this is a cause that my team and I care a lot about, I think that marketing can definitely have a huge influence on promoting this healthy lifestyle. I don't know about you guys, but after looking at all that food, I am extremely hungry, so I will see you later. Thanks for listening.